there. Well, guess what? Starting a new project, very exciting. Getting to do a child's bedroom, actually 2 kids in 1 room. So it's my niece's room in her house. So guess where we're at? Where we're gonna get all started, starting the research. We're right here in IKEA. Sorry about the lighting, it's very weird lighting, it's underground. But anyway, so let's go in IKEA and see if we can get some inspiration and maybe some pieces that might be helpful for her room. So let's go. Okay, well first, let me tell you a bit more about this project and what I had in mind when coming to IKEA. My niece approached me asking for help in designing a new room for her 2 kids, a boy age 7 and a girl age 5, who will be sharing a room at her place now that she had more space after her roommate moved out. So, the task was to make a fun room that they both would like and would meet their needs. The budget was not that big, about $300, so we knew we'd have to rely on thrift stores, Facebook Marketplace, and other low-cost stores. But most important of all, we would have to rely on our ingenuity and creativity to make sure we could make the most of what we already had. So one of the first things that I wanted to check out at IKEA was storage. I was hoping to find a larger unit that perhaps could be used in the living room to store some of the kids' items and therefore giving more space in the room. So of course I checked out the expedited cubby baskets and other similar ones like that, but they seem a bit out of our budget. I thought of underbed storage, as that's kind of a nice way to save space in a room, but again, maybe not something I could afford at this time. Vertical storage is one of those things that really makes a lot of sense when trying to save space in a room. I thought these cubbies on the wall were pretty creative. Another thing my niece mentioned was that she was open to getting new beds, so I wanted to check out pricing and see what IKEA had to offer. I also checked out other smaller storage units. Again, sometimes it's kind of useful for storing toys, books, anything like that. But again, when you have a very small budget, you have to be very conscious about where you put your money, and it all adds up very quickly. I knew my niece's daughter particularly liked animals, so I was really wanted to check these guys out. And also, lighting is always a very important thing to check out, especially in the kids' room where they need a lot of ambient lighting. So let me now take you on a tour of what the before room looks like. As you can see, they have an IKEA bunk bed, the Medal bed, not sure if that's how you say it. In addition, she had another small IKEA unit to store toys, a dresser, and a toy chest. So these are the items that needed to either be replaced in some way or stay in the room. So now let me share with you how I arrived at my concept for the room. I sat down and talked to each kid separately about what they liked and what they wanted to see in the room. Of course, their wishes could not have been more apart from each other. The 5-year-old girl loved animals, especially large animals like the cheetah, which was her favorite animal. And the 7-year-old boy loved everything sports, graffiti, and hip-hop music. So, how was I going to blend such different styles into one very small room? Let me show you what I came up with. I decided to divide and conquer, meaning that I would create 2 different zones, or more or less a zone within a zone. The safari room theme would occupy most of the space in the room, and I would then create a special cave, if you will, for the boy where we could display all the things that he loved, like sports, graffiti, and hip-hop memorabilia. So the big idea here is not to spend the money buying new beds, as we couldn't afford them anyway, but using the bunk beds that we already have and reconfiguring them so that we could create 2 beds plus a little secret space below, which is what I'm calling the graffiti cave. I also wanted to bring some safari-inspired wall decals for the large wall opposite the bed. I was able to find this set at Amazon. Another high-impact, low-cost idea was to create these trees, like I created for my tea party, at each corner of the room that were not only going to add to the ambience, but would serve as night lighting with fairy lights on a timer. I also had other accessories around the room, including the use of these sheer IKEA curtains to give the illusion of mosquito netting. Okay, well, now that you've seen what the plan is and how I'm going to create these two kind of rooms within one room, for both kids, let me show you some of the things that I've actually accumulated that actually will be used for the install. So I'm going to start here with the bedspread. I don't know if you know, but this is actually one that I happened to find. It was at Ross for $34.99, but this is actually a king size. It's actually reversible. I thought it was very appropriate and very neutral. And the nice thing is it's one king, and I don't know if you know, but one king makes two twins. So out of this one, I'm gonna split it in half. I'm gonna make two twin kind of coverlets for their beds. So that's bedroom sort of, that's why bed they are kind of covered. That's one of the items I got. In terms of kind of the canopy that's gonna go over the bed, if you remember the SketchUp, I have both one in the upper bed and also one going from the upper to the lower bed, right? And I'm gonna make that out of drop cloths. So I got two different drop cloths, a 6x9 and 9x12. And I'm gonna use this as fabric. I've actually used this before. It makes for great fabric. It's very durable and it sews pretty well. And it's usually, sometimes they have a seam in between if it's a super large one. But again, in this kind of situation, I think they'll work out okay. So that's going to be the drop cloths that we're going to use for the canopies. Now, in terms of how to hang the canopies, this is kind of what I'm going to use. This is actually just a closet dowel, right? It's a 1¼ inch, 6 feet long. So the idea is to create for the upper canopy that's going to be more like almost like a teepee kind of shape. The idea is to create a cross like this. I'm going to screw through that with a long screw, and then also I'm going to do another one coming from the top here that's going to connect from one side to the other, and then the whole thing is going to be covered up with this leather cord that I have. So that's going to be kind of that section. And then for the other part, the part that's a little on the other bed, which is goes from the upper to the lower, I think I can get away with a regular curtain rod. These are curtain rods from IKEA. They're $2.99. So it can't get any cheaper than that, and they actually go to 55 inches, which is pretty good. They, I believe they extend a little bit. Anyway, when I looked at it, I think 55 inches was enough for what I needed. So this is also, and also comes with all the $2.99 with the, with all the hardware and everything, which is great. So in terms of the cave that we're going to create from the upper kind of having the upper bunk bed and the lower be that way, you're going to create a little hole there, right? We're going to cover up this cave with our mosquito netting, and our mosquito netting is going to be nothing else other than IKEA curtains. And these are the kind that really look like mosquito netting, and the best part is that they are super affordable. They're $5.99 for this little packet. It has two panels that are 110 inches wide by 98 inches long. So I bought two packs. I might only need one, but we're gonna try it because we're gonna make little curtains to kind of hide. The one thing with these is that they're very see-through. So if you want some privacy, you want to kind of have enough fullness in there so that you actually have some coverage. Now for the actual curtain that's going to go in their window, what I'm doing there is I'm going to take a rod from wall to wall. Even though the window is only this big, basically it's sort of to create a backdrop. It's really the idea, and also makes the room look a little bit bigger than it is because I'm going to take it as high as possible and as wide as possible. So even though the window is too small, it's going to look like it's that big, right? And one of the special requests that my niece had is that it had to be blackout. I was able to find this pair of blackout curtains at Facebook Marketplace for 15 bucks. They're not quite as high as I wanted, but they should be wide enough.
So the idea is that when you open them completely, you can still see the window, and when you can close them completely, it'd be like a wall of this kind of very neutral kind of curtain. I was also able to find a nice rod that is long enough for what I need. It was only $19.99. I mean, it has like a nice film, at the end, so this will be at the top, and this goes to 120 inches, and I believe I only like 115, so this should be plenty, one rod for the curtain. So that's the whole bedding situation. Now, in terms of kind of more decorative items, I have several things. I'll show you a picture because I don't want to unroll it right now, but this is the graffiti. I ordered a graffiti wall decal that is, self-stick, that actually has one of the kids' names. The one, the older one that likes all the graffiti stuff. So this is going to be his personalized little graffiti kind of wall decal that's going to go right above his head. So I got that. I also, for the little cave, speaking of that, he really loves sports, so I got several kind of sport-related things. I was able to find this at clearance. This is at Burlington for $6.75, a little football. This is from Ross for $8.99. I will make a little collage of all his kind of favorite things. And then this one is baseball, also $6.79. So all that will be kind of put on his wall, kind of close to that. For the floor, for the bedding, I also got this, because again, the theme is safari in most places, so we could throw this on the floor, we could put them on the bed. This was a set of 4. This is from Amazon. I don't remember now the price, but if you're interested, ask me and I'll let you know. But anyway, it was a really nice set of 4. I think it was like $19.99 or something like that. It was very affordable. So there, we got a lot of the animals covered with that. On the very corner, we're gonna have the toy chest that they already have. And the idea with the toy chest is to make it look like a safari trunk, like it's traveled the world kind of thing. I also found this smaller box also that could be used for storage because it kind of gave me the same kind of vibe. And we're gonna use both of them. This one was $12.99 from Home Goods. It's very nice, very, again, it's very neutral. But the way we're gonna jazz it up is with these travel stickers. I happen to have this book that has a bunch of these kind of vintage kind of travel stickers, and I found the ones that are kind of more kind of relevant to kind of maybe what we want them to be, like Africa and Egypt and things like that, little Indiana Jones kind of. And I'm gonna glue those on all over, and then I'm gonna do the same thing with the trunk that they have at the house right now. So I'm gonna make bigger sizes of these because again, once I have them digitally, I can make it whatever size I want, and I'm gonna plaster it with that. And also, if I'm able to find, I might try to find like a belt at a thrift store to make it look like it has straps, that kind of. So that's something that I still have to go look for, but that's kind of one of those little finishing touches that it's not a big deal. So this is going to be a good functional piece as well as decorative piece and it's going to be one of the first things you see when you come in the room. Now, in terms of lighting, I might have mentioned what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some more LED strips. My niece already has one going, so we're going to utilize that one. Maybe put it in more strategic places, like we're putting it by the bed especially. I think is where we need them the most. And then I got this other one for Ross for $5.99. So it's another one of those that changes color and all that. So we're going to add more LED lighting in the room. And then for the other wall, the wall kind of opposite the bed, we're going to do a stencil. Actually, I'm sorry, not a stencil, a decal. And again, I don't want to roll it right now. I'll show you a picture right here. But basically, it's just a bunch of like safari animals. It's a little smaller than I would have hoped for to get something bigger. But we have to keep in mind the budget, and I think we can make it still be kind of nice. We may do some painting on the wall and then add this to it, so that kind of adds to the kind of the ambiance, of the space of what we're going for. But basically, so decals on the wall, so that when in bed they can actually look right at it. And the last piece, the rest of stones, is like if you remember, I mean, I think I mentioned that I'm going to create trees, right? So I still have to go foraging for more branches, and I'm going to do a similar thing from what I did when I did my my tea party secret garden. If you saw those videos, you notice that I created this kind of, they look like trees, but they're actually a bunch of branches that are basically being zip tied together. So I'm going to make one existing lamp they already have that we're going to keep because we need that extra ambient light. So I'm going to tie zip ties to that, and then I'm going to create like a, you know, like a little tree. But the trees look foliage, right? So I also got some leaves from Amazon, these and a few other ones. So we're going to attach those and create like a tree canopy, so it looks a little bit more realistic. And those are also going to have lighting. Those are going to have more of you know, like little fairy lights in them, and they'll be on a timer so that, you know, they come at a certain time at night. So it's sort of like a nightlight for the kids. So that's all I got. So that, and I got like two different kinds. And I think one set has like 4 of these from Amazon, and that other set, which is a little bit has a longer branch to it. Well, that's that. I also found this little poster at you know, at Dollar Tree. I couldn't resist. It's like a little, I don't know. Oh, it's a tiger. It's a tiger. It says, keep it wild. So I might put that on the, you know, on kind of maybe the upper berth, which is, you know, the girls' area where she likes more the animals. So maybe nice to put that on her wall, something for her to look at while she goes to sleep. You know, it looks friendly, hopefully. But she's not afraid of animals. She loves animals. Anyways, so that's what we got going. So excited. This is all happening next week. So I'll do separate video of the process. And depending on how many projects, you know, I'm able to film and all that, I might do 1 or 2 more videos. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And then you come back and kind of check that out. Check how it all turns out. It's very exciting, you know. I haven't done a full room in a while. So anyway, I hope to see you next time. And please subscribe and support the channel as best as you can. And I'll see you the next time. See you then.